So just the other day, the fine folks over at Atari teased like a big announcement that was coming up, and we've got that announcement now. Kind of curious though, was Soldier Boy a part of Atari? Is he like the co-owner or something? I always get confused. I don't remember what happened with all that, with the cryptocurrency, the casinos, Soldier Boy. It's kind of hard to differentiate the two. I'm not sure. Like the lines have been blurred, but we do have this announcement here. An icon returns. So watch this quick little video together. So it looks like we have a VCS, like old school wood grain Atari 2600. Welcome back, homie. There you go. The 2600 Plus, though. The Plus is for more power. Because you're not just going to play 2600 games on this. Kind of looks like one of those little at-games machines, right? I don't know if I could trust them with this joystick with the ones that they made for their new VCS, right? 10-in-1 game cartridge. So this thing plays cartridges, and I've already seen some misunderstandings of what's going on, and we're going to talk about that. But it does look cool. It does look cool. Like, hey, you could play 2600 and 7800 cartridges, but not 5200. HDMI. You got all the switches on the back, 2-player action. Requires additional joysticks sold separately, but I think you get one stick with the bundle. There you go. Yeah, November 17th, right around the corner. Let's see if they can actually deliver on that promise. But let's take a look at their website. $129.99 for this little fella here. Comes with that 10-in-1 game cartridge, it looks like. There you go. You get Adventure, Combat, Dodge 'em, Haunted House, Maze Craze, Missile Command, Real Sports Volleyball, Surround, Video Pinball, and Yar's Revenge. That's kind of cool. I wonder if that'll work on original hardware, though. Because this is not original hardware. That's we got to be straight up on that. You got to understand what you're getting here. So they state the 2600 Plus is an updated version of the iconic Atari 2600 and has been enhanced in the following ways. Plays both 2600 and 7800 game cartridges. HDMI, you got widescreen mode. No clue what the heck you would want widescreen mode for, but maybe some people dig that. Enlarged cartridge slot so it don't get stuck. Atari logo lights up when being played. The system comes with a CX40 Plus joystick, which has been lovingly recreated the same specifications as the original, and a 10-in-1 cartridge. Okay. Pre-order availability. Items currently available for pre-order. Pre-orders are considered final 30 days after the order date. Ships in November. International retail list coming soon. Hardware. Okay. Features a Rockchip 3128 system on a chip microprocessor with 256 megabyte DDR3 RAM, 256 megabyte eMMC internal storage, and then a wired joystick with the serial port connector. Compatible with 2600, 7800 cartridges. They do have the list right here. Let's zoom up a little bit. They do have the compatibility list. I've already kind of scrolled through this, and the compatibility doesn't seem bad. Like, there's a few that have not been tested, like the gray are untested. The greens are passed. Like, hey, these games worked for them and their internal testing team, right? And these are just 2600 games right here. The reddish, pinkish color, that's a fail. If you want to play real sports boxing, too bad. It ain't happening. Signal tracing cartridge, don't know. It's not tested yet. Who knows if they'll get to it? No idea. But they do have this list published by Atari, and then a third party down here. A few, like, there's a good number of untested, but not too many that so far have not passed. Super Cobra is a fail. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a fail. And I don't think this is a complete list. It just doesn't seem like it anyway. The 7800, yeah, there's not that many games there. What's going on here? This is definitely not a comprehensive list by any means. It doesn't look like it anyway. But there's a reason. Like, there's some that pass, some that fail. Because this is not like a recreation of the actual system. It's just like other things that have come out. But who knows for sure, like, did they develop their own emulator? Are they using Stella? What's going on here? But they are using emulation. So for those who are not aware, like, this is going to play these games just like if you loaded them up on a $35, $45 Raspberry Pi, a cheap Android box, that kind of thing. These specs that are in the hardware are very, very low end because Atari stuff doesn't need high end stuff. I'm not knocking them for that because what would be the point? Like, if all you want this thing to do is to play Atari games, you don't need like the highest end, most expensive hardware to do so. This stuff plays on freaking a pregnancy test. It's easy to emulate. And to not have issues with emulation, there's no problem with Atari stuff for the most part, but they do have some things that failed, not too many. But here you go, that's the way it is. Some people I already know. Are you sure it's emulation? Yeah, it is. This is not an FPGA system. This is not a recreation of the original hardware. It's just an emulation box and an Atari shell, which has been done before. Hyperkin with their Retron 77, that came out and was a decent little thing. I liked it. Packaging looks cool here, At least this is directly from Atari. Like, I don't know if they're working with somebody on it, but it's through their website, right? But if you're like, yeah, is it really emulation? It tells you it's emulation down here in the FAQ. So 2-in-1 systems, HDMI ready. They, just kind of repeat a lot of the same information. Will this play Atari cartridges, 2600, 7800, and the Atari XP program cartridges, which are just like re-releases, and then some games that were not originally released and that, have been part of that program. How is the Atari 2600 different from the original? We've enhanced it. Plays both 2600, 7800, has HDMI. 80% of the original size, so it's a little bit smaller. And the Atari logo lights up, and you have widescreen mode. Okay, cool, man. How's it different from the Atari VCS? It plays cartridges designed to look like the original. The VCS is a modern console whose capabilities extend beyond just gaming. It seems like the support for that thing wasn't really great, but okay. Yeah, they already said it was smaller. It's 80% of the original size. Can I use the joystick and the paddle controllers with the original? Yes, they're compatible. Does the Atari 2600 Plus use emulation software to play game cartridges? Yes, it's right there in the FAQ. I've already seen some people like bring this up. Is it emulation? Yeah. How else would they do it? The price is a little high in my opinion. If you're an Atari fan and you don't care about 5200 games, but you got cartridges for the 2600 or the 7800, maybe this will be a fine option for you, but I just want people to be aware. They haven't said what the emulator is. It's definitely using emulation. They list that there, but what brings this beyond all that? Like, it would have been nice, honestly, if it was like 5200 games as well. Then it'd kind of be like a full line of, different consoles, but to skip that, just be like 2600, 7800. I don't know, man. I already know some people are like, I'm going to pass on this. If it would have done that, I would grab it. But, to each their own. I don't have an Atari collection. I grew up with Atari, but I don't have an Atari collection. These games do not hold up for me. Not anymore. It was the first console I had was the 2600. And I'm kind of done with it. I don't really care about revisiting too much. I have the Atari, 50th anniversary collection. Mess around with that on occasion. But something like this, it does look neat. And, it might be for, if you're the right person for it, it might be kind of cool. But for most of us, I think with it just being emulation, I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Bye.